Hello, everybody, and welcome to this part 18 of the Arduboy game dev stream. So, last time I left you with the crawl state not totally finished. We had two issues. One was that you could, the main character could stand up even if they have some collision above his head. And the other issue is that the way we implemented the control of the character, then we could not place a dynamite anymore. So today we will try to fix these two issues. I think I will start with the collision issue, and then we'll see about the other problem. So we briefly discussed about how to fix it. There's maybe three ways to handle it. We could check the collision from the frame buffer again, or we could check it from the level itself. So if we check one thing, important thing, if we check it from the frame buffer, then let me show you the map manager. Then if you remember the map manager, we first handle the input. That's the very first thing we do. So when we call that function, the frame buffer is totally black. It's totally cleared. There's nothing drawn yet. And actually it's inside that function that we need to check if there is something above to allow or forbid the main character to stand up. So that means what? That means if we want to use the collision from the frame buffer, here in the static collision, check static collision, we should check it and memorize a flag in RIC. Memorize a flag so that next frame we can reuse that flag in that function, even if the buffer is cleared. But we know that last frame when we draw it, there was something above his head, which is okay, totally possible. I mean, from that, from here. Previous frame, and here we didn't move yet. We are handling the input to decide if we should move or not, so that's totally fine to do it that way. And also that made me think that we have a little issue here, a little bug that a bug that we actually we have seen in a previous stream, which is if I here or I check in this state of the bullet, I check for the bullet, I check the static collision, and in that state the bullet is actually drawing itself, which means here if we check RIC, then RIC can detect a bullet as or an arrow as a collision. So we have seen that bug that sometimes you could walk on an arrow, on a flying arrow, and RIC can just walk on it. I've seen that bug quickly during a stream, and this is totally normal because in that state we actually the arrow is actually drawn. So we check the collision and draw the arrow. So two different things to fix it. We could of course draw it later. We can have a draw after that because we have already checked all the collision and erased the bullet, so there's no issue about that. Or we could also just put the check collision of RIC here before drawing the arrows. And because also RIC check collision Rig doesn't draw anything in that function, so it won't perturb this function also. Let me check again about check static collision. Yeah, we just check some stuff here. Basically check, yeah, we don't draw anything. Yeah, so we should do that first. And yeah, so that the issue was the same here. What I was afraid is if you check in the, if we check if there is something above the head in that function, then of course if there is an arrow above the head, then the character will not automatically stand up and be killed. So it's totally against the gameplay, of course. That's what I want. So that's why I thought about this little bug here. All right. So, okay, which solution should we use? The other solution is maybe adding a function in the map manager. I thought about it, and I think I still didn't make my mind about the two possible solution. The solution of checking the pixels is maybe yeah, let's see. For example, if I go under the statue here on the left, then if we check the pixel, I will not be able to stand up. Yeah, but then later the walk will detect the collisions, so probably the main character will move, and the statue doesn't take the wall sprite. So if we use the sprite, then I may not be able to stand up very close to the statue. So yeah, maybe I should check the pixels again. Yeah, and there's a line here. Well, it depends how the sprite are drawn also. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what we should do. Both have advantage and drawbacks, I think. Okay, let's try with pixel first. Then we'll see. We'll see if it's the good strategy or not. So first we check the floor here, and then we can check the up. But we actually don't need to check if yes, we draw. Yeah, we just drew in transparent. Just to cancel the yeah, this one is to cancel collision when I'm walking. So okay, and I need it also when I'm crawling, because you don't want to go through the wall. Okay, so let's do it after that. Check above the head in crawl state. So basically I don't need to test in the other state. It's just a little optimization. So here, so we had a function, is there any floor at, and I was just checking 2 pixels, x plus 2, I'm wondering if I could reuse that function, probably giving a parameters as x plus 2 plus 6. At this time for the crawling, I really want to be at the edge. This function is used, yeah, several times. Now I will just rewrite the function. That's fine. Okay, is there ceiling at y above head? So I will check at x and x plus 8. I'm afraid if I check just these two, maybe I should check also one in the middle, would be more reasonable. Because I'm not sure if there is some sprite which is a kind of a V shape, then you could be just in between the V and be able to stand up. So let's add another one. X plus 4. Actually, this one I think I don't need to. I'm not sure I will need parameters. So let's I will take y minus 2. So not minus 1, because I guess minus, oh no, sorry. When we are crawling, the y is still the sprite above. So it should be something like, but the sprite, remember, is not 16 pixels, is 12 or 13. So it could be y plus 3. Or it could be y plus 3. Plus 3, I maybe just plus 2 actually. Yeah. Okay. So and we will just, like I said, save this into a variable. So let's just declare it. This is the jump. Variable for crawl state. Is there any ceiling above head should be false. Okay, and then like I said, we just sorry, I think we have nothing else to do, just this should be enough. And then in the handle input we will check this variable. Oh, okay, crawl state, just release button. So we don't just do that. Well, actually, I will change it. Is down. Okay, so if I'm down, sorry. Okay. So if I'm down, I just handle the normal crawl state, like left and right. Yep, no, not this. Else, if the down button is not pressed, I should check, and if I don't have setting, then I can go back to idle. Otherwise, I just stay in crawl. Yeah, but if I do that, then I will not be able to move left and right. So I should not do that. Yeah. So I should probably do this. Let's change it again. And this one I do it anyway, finally, I think. Okay, so if player releases the button and there's no setting above, then the main characters go up. So I'm not down and there's no setting, I can init idle. I should not do the rest, I think. Can I just return? Do I need to do other stuff over there? No, I can just return actually. And the crawling on left and right. So I can still move left and right even if I release the down button, but if there is a setting, so I can just scroll in a tunnel. All right, let's try that and see what happens. Yeah, we should declare the function. I think I forgot something here. this, or this. Yep. Right. Every time when it compiles, I can drink a little. That's my little pause. Okay, let's try. Yes. Ooh, I released the button. I released the button and the player didn't move. I just moved to the right. Okay, and he stand up. Okay, great. So, and if I also keep pressing down, yes, and here I press down, and if I release it, okay. Cool. All right, so okay, there's another little issue, and then we can also try to improve it now. The problem here is like if I'm going this way, here for example, I would like the character to stand up, but it cannot because actually the X is at the position of the feet, right? And the reason for that is because if you remember, this is the normal walking sprite, or any sprite. It's 9 pixels. Sorry, it's 9 pixels wide. And if you check about the crawl animation is wider, and I think it's 12 or something like that. I forgot. So we have a consistency issue here, and so basically if your X it's at this position, or when you walk, for example, the X it's at that corner, and then when you go to crawl, then it will draw this and from here. And basically I would prefer to draw probably to draw X here, which means when I change to the crawl animation, I should probably move the sprite from 3 pixels, so move X to 3 pixels if the character is looking on the right. But if the character is looking on the left, so that direction, opposite direction, actually you have to imagine that the image is mirror, then the X should stay the X because the X is on the hat here. So yeah, we could do that. This is something I would like to do. That may also create some other issues, like for example, but I can you can see it actually. Yeah, the character is sliding outside of the collision, which is actually good in several frames actually. And if I stand up again, you can see that the character is now 3 pixels away from the collision. So that's okay. But let's say if I no, I want to. Oh yeah, it's maybe difficult to. Not sure. Yeah. I should maybe jump and. I want to be. Okay. So here right now, if I'm looking right, the X doesn't move. So like I said, I would like to shift for 3 pixels. So in that situation, if I shift for 3 pixels, the feet will go inside the collision. So maybe there will be a kind of also, oh yeah, or that situation, if I, you see, if I crawl, then it will shift the character, but it shifts in the wrong direction. So we will have some situation to deal like this. Try to reproduce the bug again, yeah, and then I go through the collision. I don't know if you, this is quite logical, but I don't know if you get the why the problem is here. It's like when I'm go to crawl, in that situation I go to crawl, but the sprite is bigger, is wider, so the feet will go in collision to inside this little block. And actually the way we have the way we exit the collision is it's just in the check static collision, it's here, right? And it's depend if we are looking left or right. So if we look left, we exit collision by increasing X, all right, and if I'm looking right, we decrease it in the other way. So here in that situation, I'm looking left, but my feet will enter in collision, so I will increase X, so I will go to the right until I exit the collision. Why? So why we have implemented like that? We have implemented like that because we think that normally you get the collision in the direction you move, but here it's a bit different. We get a collision because we change the animation, and with a sprite which is wider than what the sprite, the working sprite is. So you create a kind of disruption into you don't have continuity into sprite, right? That's why it's always better, if you can, to have all your sprite fit, all your animation fit in the same size, in same width, or in same height, because then you avoid this kind of collision happening because you switch animation, right? So yeah, we must have it. So in this situation for the crawling, I cannot really avoid it, because honestly, making a crawl on something that is 9 pixel width, that won't look great. Definitely will look ugly. So we really have to deal with it. Okay, and yeah, we have to deal with it. We cannot avoid that. So here I release the button also, so I'm under the statue like we said, and it doesn't stand up. If I, let's say if I move left, okay, and at some point, yeah, it will stand up. All right, so maybe we can just commit this first. We just do this commit, and then we will try to think about this pixel. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, we fix that bug. Bug fix, avoid the arrow to be drawn as static collision. And then, so this one we have our flag, of function. We have refactor the crawl state to handle it. We're checking the seating, and then in the check static collision, we just set the flag. Okay, so implement the fact that the main character doesn't stand up from crawling if there's static collision above. All right, so we have this pixel shift issue, and we have the dynamite issue also. So for the dynamite issue, both are bit linked. So maybe we'll do the dynamite first and placing dynamite again. So for fixing the placing dynamite, I think my idea, but just in my mind, I didn't really implement it. What I would like to do is to actually play the beginning of the dynamite animation. Okay, so let me summarize the problem again. The problem here is that in the handle input, we check if you press the down button, then we will go to crawling state here, just pressed. But then here we were supposed also to check if you press the A button and the down button is pressed, then you can place your dynamite. And this will never happen because as soon as I press the down button, I would just change to crawl state. And in the crawl state, I don't check if I place dynamite here, which may be a problem, by the way. All right, so the dynamite animation, so I don't know if you remember, looks like this. Is these two frame? Oh, okay, these two frame here and here. So basically the character is going down, maybe kneeling, and just maybe just leaning in front. So I think actually these two frame can also be used for an animation transition to the crawling state. Would be nice because right now it's just from stand to crawl immediately in one frame. But the dynamite animation is playing these two frame in ping pong. So first we play this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So what we could have is like play this one, and then go to crawl state, or just go back if we place a dynamite. So that means instead of just going directly to crawl state when I just pressed, I could just start playing the dynamite animation, which will leave enough time for pressing the A button. And if you press the A button, then that means that means you place the dynamite. And if you release the down button, this animation can be played in reverse to stand up in the same way. So basically that becomes like you only place your dynamite in crawl state. So I can change the state let me do some drawing about the state machine. So if we have a sorry, oh, very bad at drawing. Let me check. Let me. Okay. If we are in idle state, then we could probably go to a go down state. Which is this 2-frame animation, and then probably go to the crawl state, and then after that we can have go up, the go up state, and this one then go back to idle. And here we can have, I should move that over there. All right. So here, thank you. We could have the place dynamite here from the crawl state and then go back. So this one is just a 2-frame animation. So we just place 2-frame and then we directly go there. This one from grow up to idle is also a 2-frame animation. The same but in reverse. And then here after the animation is done, it's automatically done. And here if I release the down button, right? So if I release the down button, then I just go up, and here I will press A. If I press A, then I will place the dynamite, then I go back to crawl. If you do that quickly, I mean, if you just go down and press A and release, then you will probably not even see this frame, the crawl frame. Or maybe I can just have we may also have direct transition here if we also release the button. Release down button. Yeah, so I won't even see the crawl animation. So if we do it like that, that means we may be able to place our dynamite, go to crawl, and we also solve the issue of I can place a dynamite while I'm crawling. So I can crawl inside the tunnel, place a dynamite, crawl out, and stand up. I cannot fire when I'm crawling, and that's by design. I don't want the player to be able to fire when crawling. But placing a dynamite, yes, I think that should be okay when you crawl. You could have some puzzle like you go in a tunnel, you place a dynamite, go out to maybe explode the tunnel or whatever. So that's okay. Yeah, so basically I think that's the idea to do that. So let's refactor our code to have that kind of state machine. So obviously, first thing I will do is I will remove this, or maybe split the place dynamite in two. I will just call it go down and go up, or stand up. Okay, go down, stand up. Or maybe I should not go. It's crouch. Yeah, crouch down and stand up. Okay. Then obviously we need to change that code, and we will come back later. And we need here. So if I just press the down button, then I can go to crouch down, and I will go to dynamite start. Maybe I should also rename that. I will rename this. But it's the same animation for going down and up. So, well, that's fine. You can just call it crouch down. Crouch. You know what? I can just leave it like that. That's fine. Just leave it like that for now. We'll see if it's confusing later. Go back to Rick. Okay. So I was saying, pause dynamite start. Okay, so if I just press down, I will go to crouch down. I will pause my dynamite. Then we'll have to remove that code later on. Okay, then place dynamite becomes crouch down. So this doesn't change. Okay, so if we reach the end, then we will go to crawl. Crawl start. Oops, sorry. Nope. Here. Yeah, crawl start. So I will duplicate that state here. For stand up. The light up of dynamite is for later. So the light up of dynamite should happen in the crawl state, or Actually, we should decide here if we go to crawl or if we go to stand up depending on the state of the down button. So if we are down, if we are still down, then we go to crawl. So I move it back as it was. Okay, so check if the done button is still pressed or not. So if we are still pressed, we can go to the crawl start. And do we have to do anything else? The state, yeah, of course I need to change the state. Okay, so sorry, I was too high here. Okay, so if the down button is still down pressed, we go to crawl state. The player released the down button, so we need to stand up. Reset the frame and reverse direction, and we also need to change the state. By the way, I split the state in two. I'm not sure I really need to do it actually. Yes, probably I need it, because after the crawl, after I go to crawl state, then I will also stand up. So I think I have to time the init stand up, that then I will create init function like the init idle. For the sake of clarity, we could really do it for all the state. Init stand up. I will move. So where is my stand up? Here. I'll move this. So we change the state to stand up. We init with pose dynamite end and reverse direction. That makes sense. All right. So for the light up of the dynamite, that should be. We could check it here, but because if I just check that I just press the button, then I should not just check at the last frame, otherwise the percentage of chance that you press the button at the last frame is very low. I should check it in the state. Or I can just check it in the crawl state for now. Check if finish the ping pong. Okay. So this one will move in the stand up. So in the stand up, we will also increase the animation. And then go back to idle if we finish the ping pong loop. Basically that's it. Okay, so now the light up of the dynamite, we have this code to move, probably in crawl. And we also have some code here. So this one we don't need anymore. Oh, by the way, this I should do it in the init of the crouch down. Okay. I will just, okay, let's put it in the, let's put the dynamite in the crawl for now and see if I can refactor it. So I move this here. Later the dynamic player, press A. I should bring back the test of the dynamite count here. Which okay, just press A if I have dynamite, find one, increase, light up, increase, okay, and here so I don't need that anymore. And I don't need to change the state anymore. So really this one is not necessary anymore. All right, so all right. So fire when pressing correct button. Okay. All right, so with that, we will only place dynamite when we are in crawl state. I don't have yet this kind of direct path here. I mean, yeah, we don't have from here to here. I didn't create any kind of link like that. We have to go to crawl state before placing dynamite. But let's see. Let's test that first, and we'll see if we can improve it or if it's a problem or not. Does it compile? I don't think so. Declaration of init standup. Ah, yes. We are missing something. We are missing something. I created this because I also wanted to play this stand-up animation after I release the crawl, so it's here instead of init idle. I want to init stand-up. Does it compile? Yeah, I just declare it. Init stand-up, init stand-up, semicolon. Okay, let's try. Okay, I'll just move here. Okay, so yeah, we can see the animation, and so the animation, the feeling is not good yet because we have these 3 pixels of we should move 3 pixels on the right. Should be better if I look that direction. You see, I think it's much better. Okay, can I place a dynamite? Yes, I can place my dynamite. And but then I always place dynamite when I'm crawling, which is a bit weird. But what is really strange is it doesn't finish the animation. How? I didn't expect that, which is cool, but I don't understand how it works. Let me check again. Crouch down, and yeah, maybe just go here, from here to here in its stand-up after I finish, because I release my button. Yeah, all right. All right, and I think I know how to fix this place dynamite problem. So we will I will explain in a minute. Let me test more. So I think it's playing the whole animation fully, and then Yeah, it has to play the wall go down and then stand up anim, which is cool. The feeling is good. Okay. 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 Yeah. I have no dynamite anymore. Okay, so to fix our problem about the dynamite, placing the dynamite, I think because before we were playing the wall animation post dynamite, and when we were at the end of the go down, then we placed the dynamite, and then we were playing the stand up animation. Uh, so what we so actually so first we check that the player just pressed the button, then we launch the animation and place the dynamite later. So the dynamite has to be placed at a very specific moment, but the checking of the button, the checking of the control is done for a long period of time, right? So when you have that kind of issue, obviously you can just use another variable, another flag to handle it. So basically, we can have a flag saying that we should place a dynamite or not. Um, I'll do it with the crawl stat. Uh, should we place a dynamite? Okay, start with false. Then what we can do is in that state check the button and basically that function actually. So we can move that. We can move that code. I mean, we can move that code in a function to call it here and there. So, I will do that, and we should check it in crouch down and crawl, and we should check it every time. Okay, so I can make it here, for example. So check if the player wants to place a dynamite. Uh, uh, does I don't know how to call that function. Place yes, anyway, is dynamite placement requested. Okay, that's name of my function. Okay, so I will move that function, most of that function, but not all. So I just return here, and here return false. So if we press the A button, I should also merge these two tests. If I press the A button and I have enough dynamite, then I check for a live one and I return true. Okay, and then here, so this one I should not override the flag, so that's why I still need a flag. So only if it's false, then I can check it if it becomes true. Once it's true, I should not change it back to false. Actually not here, and I don't need to check again. All right, and here in the crawl state, so actually let me add another function again. This one. Void plus place dynamite. Okay, so this time we really place it, and because we place it, we also can reset the flag. So let me get the flag again. Reset the dynamite placement flag. So, well, actually, I should not reset here. Find the yes, I should reset here. Sorry. Find the dynamite. Find unavailable dynamite and light it up. Blah blah blah. Tac. Yep, that's correct. So this is the place dynamite function. That I should call here. So I can remove that. And also in the crawl state, I should also check this. All right, but since that I don't need to delay in crawl state, I can directly test it. So I could copy the same code here. Like should I place it, then okay, test it, and then if I really place it, I place it. So like I said, oh, this is the OR. then I can simply do that. Or, and yeah, also I want to place dynamite inside. Okay, so maybe it will become even simpler, you will see. So then next stuff I want to do is here in the crouch down, I check if I press the A button while I'm going down, and then when I reach that end of animation, I should place the dynamite. Right? So if I should place it, I can just place it. Now we can place the dynamite because we reach the end of the animation. All right, and then I can place my dynamite here, and then I can go to crawl, or I can stand up, right? And here actually, because I'm going to crawl, because I tested that, so here I don't even need to check it. I can just constantly check like that. All right, so let's declare these two functions. There's a place here, and here. Okay, so let's try. Okay, compile. Okay, so no, wrong button. Okay, so I'm trying to check if I can place my dynamite without going to the crawl state. Seems to work. Not sure. No more dynamite. Yeah, I was. And of course I should check if I can place dynamite when I'm crawling, which should be okay. So I'm crawling and I can place a dynamite. Okay. Shit. I should, yeah, I should really be fast actually. Yeah, if I'm fast, I think it works. All right. No more dynamite. The animation, the go down animation, crouch down, stand up animation are quite fast, but that's okay. I don't want them to be too slow. So yeah, it was too slow. Uh, yeah, yeah, I didn't want to crouch. I think I can just for testing. I can really slow down the animation. Um, so yeah, I will rename it actually. Um, I call it crouch stand. Okay. Let's make it like 10 times slower, just for testing. Sorry, my screen is a bit dirty. Oh, yeah, that's slower. Okay, so if I do this, yeah, I didn't went to the crouch state. Okay. Oh, I've got some light. Um, all right. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. So let's put back the normal speed, and we can check the the change we have made. All right, so just rename crouch stand anim speed. This one I split in two to state crouch down, stand up. We have two. We have one more. Should we place dynamite? We have created new function here. In its stand up is dynamite placement requested. So we check a button. We check we have enough dynamite. We check we have an available slot, an available dynamite. And then we place it. Just find it. We decrease. We light up, decrease, and we reset the flag. Then in the state place dynamite, we split it in two. Crouch down, stand up. Crouch down, we check if we didn't already ask, if the player didn't really already ask for placing dynamite, we check if it's requested. Then at the end of the go down animation, if we need to place it, we place it. Then if it's still down, we go to crawl. Otherwise, if it's up, we go to stand up. And stand up, we animate stand up. When we finish the stand up animation, we go back to idle. Then in crawl, we also check if we need to place a dynamite, then we can place it because we are already down. And when we finish, instead of going to idle, we just stand up to also play the animation. Alright, and here when I press the down button, instead of going directly to crawl, I go to crouch down. As the pause dynamite start. I think I should really rename that anim state. Also set the animation. And here for the fire, then we just have the fire when we just walk. Okay. So bug fix. Now we can place dynamite again and add an animation between idle and crawl. Crouch down and stand up. Animation between idle and crawl. All right. I just want to, just refactor a bit, just a little bit. I want to, I wanted to rename in the sprite data post dynamite start, so I can just call it crawl. You know what? We can do that. We can make crouch start. Crouch end, and we can even, for clarity, stand up start, then it's 7, and stand up end, which is 6. So they are the same frame, but I just give them some different name, so it's kind of alias. But even if later you want to redo your animation and make a different animation for crouch and stand up, then your code still works. So I'm not afraid of alias and naming my variable. All right, so this, in my opinion, this is a tip to write maintainable code. Otherwise, you just create bugs and it becomes difficult to follow. So let's go back to Rick. So init stand up, this could be, stand up start. And I also want to create, even if I just call it one time, but just because for the clarity, I want to create the init crouch. I think that it won't take much memory. Probably it will be aligned by the compiler. So let me call it init crouch. So init crouch is inside the normal state, which is here. gonna just press the down button. Okay, cut that and put it into the init crouch. So it's crouch down, and this one is crouch start. Right, so that make the code more logical. Okay, I need to declare this one. All right, and then let me search where I have pause dynamite. So crouch down, crouch end, crouch end, then stand up end. All right, I could also split these two enemy speed here, but I think that's fine. All right, so it should be exactly the same. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you what I've done. What did I do? Oh, yeah, I know. I forgot the comma. So what I've done is I just renamed this animation frame in the sprite data, and then I rename it here. I will show you the difference. Forgot to save that. Sorry. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. All right. So let me show you what I've changed. So here I just created the init crouch function, which is similar to that one. I just rename it pause dynamite by stand up crouch, and yeah, just rename it. And here I call the init crouch. All right, and in the sprite data, I have renamed these two and also split in two, even if I give them the same name. They are in ping pong, so of course the start is 7 and 6, 6 and 7. Refactor and clean some code around the crouch and stand state. All right, so what time is it right now? We have 1 hour and 1 hour and a half for the stream. All right, before leaving, maybe I still have some time just to try to do what we have discussed about shifting the X when we go to crouch, and this depends on on the direction the player is looking. So it's basically it will be into the init crouch, right? Yeah, so if Rickin's looking left, move X. Oh no, if it's looking left, it's okay. If it's looking right, 3 pixel on the left for keeping the hat aligned with the idle animation. So if not looking left, all right. And actually, if it's looking left, we should not change anything. Let me check this. And we still have the collision bug that we mentioned, which is more problematic. This time I succeeded. Okay, so looking right. Yeah, and when I go up, I should also move back because it's the same issue. Okay, if I'm looking this direction, no problem. Okay, so here, but I should move back, otherwise I will do a moonwalk to the left. That's okay. So init stand up. If link is right, move extra on to the right. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, nice, succeed. Okay, so looking to the right. Yeah, and I stay at the same place. All right. And on the left is okay. So here is okay. And of course we still have our bug. Yeah. All right. All right. And for example, if I'm here, yeah, that's quite good. So before, if you remember, the collision was moving up outside of the wall, but now we don't need because we already shifted. All right, so how can we handle that bug? let me think about 5 minutes. Maybe we can fix it. Otherwise, we will fix it in the next stream. To So again, the bug is in the check collision, static collision. The bug is here. So maybe we should also check the state, if we are in crawling state. Yeah, but we don't really know where the collision happened because we just use the draw transparent here. Unless if we are in crawl state, we can do additional test, like checking the pixel near the feet. And yeah, and then basically we should change this. So instead of pushing the direction according to this, we should push the other direction if we are crawling and if it's the feet that collide. Because it can be also of course it can be also the front of the character that collide with, like if I'm doing this, if I try to walk against the wall. And then you may also ask what happens if I just have 2 block and 2 sprite and then just one sprite empty. So this situation should not happen in level design. So we will try to avoid that situation in level design, because obviously the character will be both in collision on the left and on the right if you just create that situation. So we can assume in our code that this will never happen, because we will try to make sure that never happen in the level design, so we don't have to handle it or leave the bug, I would say. So yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe that's not very long, so let's try to add this special taste for the crawl state. So we had collision. We can reset that, but before checking that, we need to do more collision, more test. Let's declare a variable pool, a local variable, push to right. Okay, so push to right, and by default it will be is looking left. So if I'm looking left, I should push to right. And so I'm using this one here. Okay, push to right. So cancel any speed in the air if colliding with a wall. Declare a variable to know in which direction we should push the main character to exit the collision. In crawl state, we need to do additional test to check if it's the fit which are colliding. All right, so I'm thinking I thought about also maybe change a bit this the draw function on the Arduboy, just by maybe returning which char has collided, which is a bit more information actually, rather than us checking again some pixels. Yeah, I think that would be better actually. Anyway, if it's scroll state, then I think but if we return yeah, for having compatibility, maybe we can return 0 if there is no collision, and then something if there is, yeah. So let's do int. Let's write it before changing the function, just to make sure that it makes sense. So if wall collision, so it depends if I'm looking left or right, of course. So if I'm looking left and looking left, and the wall collision is, so I'm looking that way, and log collision is greater than 9 or 8, then that's the fit. So push to right becomes false. Else, if I'm looking right and the wall collision is less than 3, 4, then it's the fit while looking right. So yeah, you should push to right. So it's really the opposite of is looking left. All right, that makes sense. Then push the push rig in the right direction. All right, so like I said, here in our draw function, we can just return an int. Actually, unsigned char should be enough. And here in that function, we will change it again. So it's in our custom Arduboy, so it becomes unsigned char here, And what do we change is that except of this one should be unsigned char, it becomes 0. And what we do is that okay, so the thing is, yeah, the problem is we can collide with several ones. So what should we do? We can use a bit fill for that. Bit fill is like, okay, our sprite can only be 8, or we use an int. Yeah. I don't think we will have more than a sprite bigger than 2. So I'm not very clear. Sorry, I'm not very clear about my thinking here. But this one we could use. We could return an int, for example, and use this as a bit field, and the bit field will each bit will tell which column of the sprite has collided. So it gives a little bit more information actually. It could give a kind of complete, more precise information, but this only works only if your sprite is not larger than 16 pixels, which will be the case for us. So, but the function doesn't becomes not so generic actually. But I think it's worth it. Otherwise, if we don't want to change that, that means we will have probably to test again the pixel around the fit. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, and we'll see how this evolves. I'll return an inside int then. Okay, and then, so collision detected, inside int. Okay, then this will become, so this, but I will have a bit field set. So I'm trying to think if I can write it in one operation. If this is true, let's write a if, otherwise it will be a bit messy. Okay, so if we have collision, then this will be set with 1 shifted by the x. Is it current x? X call, let me, x plus x call. star x to nx star x. I call. There's so many variables, I'm not sure which one. Bitmap a with plus icon. Buffer position B row shift plus current X. Start X. Start X. X negative. This function is very difficult to read, so I forgot a bit. And x plus width. Rows. The rows. Okay, rows. It's not rows. It's called. Oh yeah. By the way, if we have, well, that's fine. So start x. I think it's icall probably. If it's mirror, it's with pixel minus 1 minus start x. Yeah, start x is for being clicked by the screen. Code iteration is plus 1 minus 1. X call. Yeah, it's probably you want the call icon. I'm not sure, but I think that should be something like that. And here I think it's exactly the same code. All right. Then in the rig class, so this one should be int. Then this one we should make a bit field comparison to check the foot. So wall collision and so it's looking left. So it's the foot are on the right. So probably 12. I need to check the sprite data again for the width. Okay, it's 12 for the crawl. I'm sorry. So we'll use my calculatrice. So 12. On the right, yeah, if it's on the left, yeah, if it's on the left, it's like this. So it's the small one. if it's on the right, it should be. Maybe on the right it's easier. It should be the small number. On the left it should be the high number. And I know it's always the same because I think I call iterate always the same way on the sprite. I think so. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Let's say 3, 6F. Oh no, sorry, it was not in binary. 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, let's try with 7. This one is different 0. Oops, sorry, what happened? Capital, yeah, caps lock. All right. This should tell me if I'm colliding with the foot or not, right? Well, I will end up the stream, I think, and I will double check offline because it's a bit annoying. And I will next stream we can try, we can test. Next stream I will probably do some explanation because that becomes some kind of trickery wizardy wizard code. So okay, we need to check the signature. Of draw, where is the draw? The draw is header here. Unsign int. Yeah, it starts to be some kind of magical code here. It's difficult to not be lost, by the way. So I have no confidence at all that it will work. Okay. Not this one. Okay, it doesn't. That doesn't work. It clearly doesn't work, but start to be something. Ah, on this direction it worked. It worked on this direction, but I think it doesn't work in that direction. So maybe the int is not the same. I should log it and debug it to really debug it and think about it, I guess. Yeah, it just like moved in the wrong direction, I think so. Yeah, doesn't work on the right, but it worked on the left. So I guess either my test is not correct or the collision check in the draw bitmap is not correct. This one is still working. Okay. Oh, and this one, yeah, this one really not, it's not working on the right. Yeah. You see, I should I should the test to reverse in which direction I move out of collision is not correct. So that's why I'm going through. But on this side, oh no, this side is not working neither. So yeah, it's fully bugged. So I will not commit that, but I will debug it offline. And I think we'll stop here. It's probably 2 hours or something. What time? What time is it? Yeah, 2 hours. So thank you for watching this episode. So to summarize, we have fixed the two bugs that we wanted to fix for the crawl, which was, if you remember, the possibility to place dynamite and crawling at the same time. And the other issue we had was, I already forget, was I'm checking the log. When the stand up, crawling. Yes, and the fact that we could not stand up when we had collision above the head. So the crawling state is pretty in good shape. Then we still have this kind of bug situation where, because the crawl animation frame is wider than the stand one, so we still have this kind of collision when issue bug when you crawl next to a wall that we started to fix, but it's not complex, so we need to, you know, just put your mind on top of it, and on not on top, but put your mind on that issue and really find the exact code. So I hope you enjoy it. I think next time I will explain how I fix it, how I finally implement it. Then we may implement more state for the character, like the jump state, the ladder also. We don't have the ladder yet, so we should do that. So hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye bye.